Welcome back to Hunter x Hunter Anime Review, special number 5. And this one reviewing the 376th chapter of the Hunter x Hunter manga, The Termination. The chapter starts off with, well, a couple of the bodyguards, a couple of the hunters basically requesting to see, I think it's supposed to be one of the princes. So yeah, apparently this guy is the son of one of them. So he gives him a letter. Says the guy says, see you at the next banquet. Says most you can do is give it to Grand Chamberlain. He says I'll be back tomorrow with another letter. Until I meet you, let me meet father. I could come day after day. The guy really wants to see his father. Okay. Then we cut to a courtroom. Yes, a courtroom on a ship that's shaped of a whale, where second Prince Carmilla is charged with trying to shoot up second Prince, the first prince, and of course there's one particular bodyguard. Yeah, and her attorney basically is demanding to hand over Muse for attempted assassination. And the guy's like, objection. Is like, oh yeah, because the whole thing's about self-defense. And he thinks, oh yeah, we're not sheltering Muse. And they both request a search of both of the residential quarters. He says, very well, I should put a request for where I'm going to search both quarters. Until then, we confirm Muse's whereabouts, and both princes would confide to the VVIP area and placed under surveillance. Court is adjourned. Yeah, that's basically. It's a quick, little, one-page courtroom drama thing. Like saying, oh yeah, Muse is now a CEO, and she managed to evade arrest. And we cut to the next day, where apparently it's now been officially 3 days since they left port. And Kurapika, who was actually absent in the last chapter for no reason. Yeah, there's no reason why. And they discover a man murdered in a bathroom. And, they decided to use, Nen. And, of course, just take it was no resistant Nen. And then we cut to the training room where Kurapika is giving a lecture on Nen. Like, yeah, sounds too good to be true. And of course, one of the other hunters basically explains a very thoughtful argument. It's like, what if coming to the enemy's territory and going to the bathroom, you would think it's far too careless. Going to the enemy's territory and then going to the bathroom. Yeah, first instance it was an ambush. I think the answer is simple negligence. First off, this lecture only lasts 2 to 3 hours. For that period, not much for us. By the book, security guards be alert and vigilant. So just keeping at each other. And basically, pretty much a justifiable argument about basically teaching about Nen. And of course, Kurapika, after a long conversation about Nen and the army, and of course he goes to Kurapika speaking to him privately. He thanks him basically to be able to continue the lecture. No problem. He says, can I borrow Bill for 10 minutes? And we see the outside of the ship. First time, I think in probably about 3 chapters, you get a chance to see the outside of the ship, which, yeah, it's basically the shape of a whale. And this is weird, though. For a ship, it kind of acts like a submarine, and apparently no one's allowed to go outside. So it's kind of like a moving building. That's basically how to describe the thing. And they talk about the particular room, which has been sort of in suspicion the past few chapters, being controlled by Nen Beast. And that's room, I think it's like 1004. Yeah, that particular room. And they basically want to do some communication there. And then we cut to room 1010, where one of the female princes, I'm not sure, I think this is supposed to be 8th prince, where we see Melody first time in a few chapters. Yeah, last time she appeared for like roughly 2 pages. Yeah, here she appears for like a little bit longer per se. Yeah, apparently she's using Morse code to point out the fact that, well, the room is bugged. So, kitchen cupboard bottom left corner. Oh yeah, and she finds a bug. Yep, the fact that her room is bugged. So yeah, and then we see we cut to a different room where I think this is supposed to be the first. This is I think this is supposed to be the third prince. This black guy, possibly, and they're talking about a coin. And then we cut to the next day, 4th day, Wednesday, last night, late night. So now apparently it's been 4 days. Okay. So we see a lot more talking, and they go to that room again, which is basically when it's especially in the past several chapters. More talking, tons of dialogue per se. Nothing really shocking per se. So it's like the 11 days left. It's still enough time to teach Prince the Prince Zetsu. Yeah, that's one people saying. We see more talking, and we see like this overflowing thing of, well, the thing is overflowing. So that basically, I think he's supposed to be a conjurer. I think he is. I think he's probably an enhancer. Oh, he's a specialist. Okay, and that's how the chapter ends. So a okay chapter. It's not exactly a step down, but it did feel like this particular chapter, despite the heavy amount of dialogue this chapter got, because lots of talking, and I keep thinking, now, one person pointed out to me, is like, I can't expect people to get killed off every chapter of this series, but with this particular chapter, it did feel like definitely that the plot was moving forward, and a little bit here and there, but it seems like time is passing a little more quicker than usual. I mean, it's passed much more than it has been since this arc first started. First is the 3rd day, and then we cut to the next day. So over the course of this one chapter, like 1 full day has passed. Okay. I do have a theory of why, because it feels like it's taken a while. And, excuse me, apparently it's going to take about 11 days to get the Dark Continent. So it's 11 days to go, so apparently it's supposed to take about 2 weeks to get there. So yeah, so at least in the parts of Second Prince Camilla, her plot is moving forward, and hopefully taking out this one guy who tried to shoot her a few chapters back. But unlike that one chapter, I think it was about 2 or 3 chapters that opened basically with a bang, with her trying to shoot up people. This chapter opens up with a lecture. Yeah, very okay way to do it, but I think this. Do I think that this arc should be, well, progressing a little more forward? I do think so, yes. But that is an anime. I'm not trying to rush the writer when it comes to this particular arc per se. That this arc should be done a while ago. I mean, this arc started roughly just a few years ago, so I keep thinking, is this plot going to move forward? I mean, this plot has only been going on for roughly, probably a little over 30 chapters by now. And, I mean, it's not exactly a very long arc right now. I mean, the longest arc to date for the entire series is Chimera Ant. That's the longest arc of the whole series. This is probably tied for what one of the previous arcs, which like probably like the 4th longest arc. Yeah, but this arc has only been going on for roughly, at this point, roughly about 27 chapters, because this arc started with chapter 350. Yeah, that's where this arc started. So, I mean, it took until about 2 or 3 chapters back for finally, after moving at a snail's pace for time-wise, we finally feel like we're actually moving forward with this particular plot, for this particular arc. But, yeah. But Kurapika, for what he does in this chapter, at least he shows up. I don't really know why he no-showed the last chapter. Heck, Hanzo is mentioned in this chapter, but no appearance him. And that guard who showed up in the last chapter, who Biscuit showed off at her true form to, he is nowhere to be seen in this chapter. Biscuit doesn't show up in this chapter at all. Basically just Kurapika and Melody. That's it. But hopefully next chapter we get a little more forward. But the only thing shocking about the ending of this one is the fact we reveal one nen user is a specialist. Yep, just a specialist. That's really it when it comes to that. But it's a pretty decent ending for what it is. Yeah, apparently he doesn't know about the whole thing about being a specialist at all when it comes to being nen. Hopefully we get a chance to see more people become nen users, and hopefully become interesting. But does anybody physically die in this chapter? Well, there's one death, and it is shocking. Though they should have secured the crime scene and basically have crime scene investigators instead of just have basically just talk a lot. Yeah, of course, that's how I know about crime scene dramas because I've watched CSI. That's what they should have done. They should have secured the crime scene and allow people, well, maybe the hunters per se, to investigate the crime and who killed this particular person. And it's been a little while since the person actually died in this particular arc. I would say first time since probably like the early parts of this arc we actually see some deaths in here. Looks like this death happened off screen. And it looks like he had part of his like skin, his face was like swollen. Yeah, it looks like whoever killed him basically said I was sucked out his insides. It's kind of gross, but that's what I look from the particular thing, from this where the art is depicted in here. But that's it for. That's all I gotta say about this particular chapter. What rating do I give this chapter? I'm gonna give it an 8. Yes, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's a decent chapter, not terrible, just a decent chapter. And it's not, let's say, now I know there's politics in this particular arc. Fine, whatever. But I think that the writer should cut down a little bit on the dialogue. Not cut out all the dialogue parts. Just cut down a little bit because this particular chapter had a ton of dialogue. I mean, a ton. I don't mind that at all, but to see this for almost like every panel where it's like almost dialogue heavy, but it does feel like that the arc is finally progressing forward after, well, that's basically the way it's been for the past 6 chapters since the manga came back. It does feel like that the manga is finally progressing its arc forward after not progressing that much prior to this, prior to going on hiatus back in August. So now it does feel like it's moving forward a little bit here and there, but it does feel like it's progressing forward. Alright? So that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned probably this weekend, maybe, for chapter 377. Now, one thing I do appreciate is the fact that this chapter does not say, oh yeah, we're going hiatus again. Yeah, this chapter does not say, it just says end. But who knows exactly when the next hiatus is going to be. It could be after the next 4 chapters. Because last time when he came back, he only released 10 chapters for went hiatus again. His longest one I've heard was 2.5 years. Excuse me, but who knows when he's going to go on hiatus again. Though some people theorize that there's a couple ways people have theorized how to improve the manga. One, have his wife do the artwork while he do the writing. Of course, his wife is the creator of Sailor Moon. Another way to improve, basically, the release schedule of this thing is to switch it from weekly to monthly. This is so the series come out on time. But it just depends on what the writer is going to do. All right, so until seeing the next video, which I'm not. This is by far the only video I plan to do today, anyways. But if I do plan any videos today, it'll just be, well, whatever I can think of. Maybe I'll do like an open topics thing, but nothing pretty much peaks out to me when it comes to open topics per se. I mean, I know the fact that My Hero Academia did release what the new release date is for the start of the current season, but I haven't watched My Hero Academia, so my friend Tibia he just put up a review. He just put up his thoughts of what the release date of the official release date for this series. But otherwise, though, as for next time I put a video up, I have no idea. Probably be Wednesday at best when I get a chance to review the newest episode of Boruto. That's pretty much the way it's going to be, unless of course I do it like a. I'll probably do like a top 10 per se, but it'll just depend upon exactly what I do it on. But that will probably be like a video I might plan until the next Boruto episode airs, because right now I have no trades to review, no anime episodes to review, and no manga chapters aside from this one I just reviewed This is the only one I had reviewed today, anyways, because I forgot to review it on Saturday. But yeah, so until I see you in my next video, bye.